We're starting 50 points lower on the Nifty, so 24,288 is where we're at. The Nifty Bank is down about 0.3%, 55,184. Sensex is down about 0.17, 79,978. And I think you got some green on the small cap index, 16,980. Mid cap index is absolutely flat, but there's some green on both in the broader space, broader markets. Otherwise, I mean, it's slightly sideways, slightly subdued. It's 12% in 9 days on the Nifty. And running into, of course, some adverse news flow here as well. So 24,280 is where the index is at. The Nifty heat map maybe will quickly come up and we'll just look at which way things are. So it's all mostly down. I mean, I think about 30, 35 stocks are lower and about 15 odd names are higher at this point in time.
And Bajaj Finance is in leadership position. I'll tell you why. Because the board is meeting today. They'll be considering not just a dividend, but also a stock split. And typically retail investors like that. Just makes ownership a little easier. Stock at an all-time high this morning of about 9,450, almost 9,500 on Bajaj Finance. So that's the big mover. Tata Motors is the other one that's tracking some green. There's Indices Bank on the upside. Nestle ahead of numbers is up about 1%. Let's look at Tata Consumer and see what it's doing. Tata Consumer is actually down about 4%. So the stock's selling off on what seems to be an inline performance in the fourth quarter. Tata Consumer actually is the weakest stock on the Nifty, with that cut coming through. Eternal, which has had a good week so far, it's cooling off as well, 2% lower on Eternal. And there's news on Eternal as well. Let's not forget, there is a management change. Mr. Dipinder Goyal himself is going to take over the food delivery operations now. The current CEO is moving out to another business, still in the company, but to another business. It seems like it's a regular reshuffle, but the stock is lower. Bharti Airtel, Sun Pharma, HDFC Bank, these are the other losers. Banks in general are a little soft again this morning. ICICI Bank also lower by about 0.5%. Kotak is also slightly lower. L&T Cipla also slightly down. So very muted and quiet for the time being. Indices, by the way, is seeing some interesting buying, about 1.5% up on Indices.
Well, that's right, Surbhi. And a couple of more stocks actually that are calling for our attention. Thyrocare, solid set of numbers. There is valuation comfort out there. So that's the big bazooka move this morning. Thyrocare is up close to around, I think, 8-9% the last time I checked. Let's get the intraday chart up for you on the screen. Syngene, disappointing numbers with disappointing guidance as well. Bharti Energies, that's the one that's given up a little bit post yesterday's big run. So that's coming for some profit taking. Vascon, well, that stock is up close to around 5% or thereabouts because it won a 200 crore order. Syngene now it's down close to 10%. That's actually a lower circuit on that particular name. So just keep an eye out on that one. Vascon is up close to around 6%. That's won a 200 crore order. So I think we should get that as well up for you on the screen. It's at the 100 DMA. So keep an eye out on Vascon. Spandana Spurti, the stock started off in the red, but it's recovered from the low point of the day. A few factors at play. Mr. Ashish Damani that now takes charge, he's been longer there than Mr. Shalab, so that's why that could be one factor. The management commentary as well was positive, that they see settling down of this MFI stress in a quarter or so, which is another positive, and valuations at around 0.85 times give some kind of support. So because of this, after starting off gap down, and yesterday the stock was down 5% as well, that's recovered from the low point of the day. And Dalmia Bharat, as we said, the numbers are more or less flattish. The way ahead could be better. That stock is up 3.5%.
Absolutely. So lots of movers, right? I mean, we're still on the Nifty down about 45, 50 points to start the day. And the biggest volume-led loser, I mean, price-wise, it's just a 3% cut is Vari. But look at the volumes. It's huge volumes coming through on Bharti Energy. At 29.35, yesterday, of course, it was up some 16-17%, but almost quickly clocking up to about 1 million odd shares on the NSE. LTI Mindtree, of course, Rima was highlighting that. Syngene, we've highlighted. Tata Consumer, Mangalam just spoke about that. It's down 3%. Eternal is down 1.25%. Max Health is down 2%. K Fintech, big winner in the last 1 week, 2 weeks. 3% down, about 12.50 on K Fintech. And so on and so forth. Rallis is down about 5.5%. It's got decent-sized volumes as well, but not high, but some volumes in it. And of course, I mean, Samhi is up 5%, so 182. Stocks up 25% coming into this deal. It's up another 5 this morning on Sami. So, yeah, I mean, there's a fair bit which is going 60 points lower on the Nifty. So,
You know, on Tata Consumer, I started going through a lot of the brokerage notes, but just to sort of gauge market reaction and pulse. Jefferies is the one that's actually downgraded the stock. And what is their rationale of doing this? They're saying, first of all, this tea inflation is really hurting margins. They're not too happy with that, though growth is okay. And more importantly, they're pointing out the obvious. The stock is trading at 70 times FY26 earnings. So they just think it's too expensive. So therefore, it's a hold now for them. That's a Jefferies view on Tata Consumer.
absolutely. So 2.5 lower on Tata Consumer.